Nagatoro is a nice little romantic comedy manga where she finds enjoyment in bullying her senpai. I wasn't interested in it at first, but then I read it, and I was surprisingly hooked for the wrong reason. I love seeing the senpai getting bullied because he's such a massive tool, but it's also fun seeing him withstand the bullying and eventually become a better person at the end. Spoiler for the latest chapter, the two finally end up getting together. This gets some people riled up, calling it a degenerate-ass manga. Yes, it is. It has lots of nudity and fan service. Nothing wrong with that. But boy, you are not ready for this absolute big brain take.
I hate corny romance anime that focuses on romance too much, if that makes sense.
No, it does not make sense. I think what you're trying to say is that you don't like your coffee pure black, you want some milk, cream, or sugar, but you end up saying you don't like coffee that has way too much coffee. Not only should you phrase your words better, but Nagatoro has way more than just romance. Read it. Seriously, the internet is becoming a display of absolute shameless real-life degeneracy, which is why a lot of people are more sensitive towards adult content. Some are admittedly more sensitive than others. Man, I swear the internet is making people real paranoid.
21 is a child adult.
No, 21 is an adult.
It's fair to be uncomfortable with someone 2 times your age, following and interacting with you.
If that's the case, then teenagers shouldn't be on the internet. And yet somehow we got the opposite opinion. You teenagers should all be doing your homework instead of wasting your time on Twitter. Leave social media to the adults, kids.
But if a 40-year-old is talking to a 21-year-old, that is creepy.
No? That's a perfectly normal thing that happens? I guess nobody should be a teacher in this case, right? Nobody should be parents too, I guess. Man, the internet's obsession with age gap relationships is starting to get really stupid. The fact that someone in their 20s can't interact with someone in their 30s is already stupid, but it gets worse when they start to talk about looks all of a sudden. Like this person over here. What the hell is this guy going on about?
Y'all's obsession with child-sized women paired with men roughly the size of a 2-door fridge needs to be clinically evaluated.
No, there's nothing to be evaluated. They're both adults. Just because you find it icky doesn't mean it needs serious observation.
There's something deeply weird behind it, but it's not my job to go into that.
Yes, it is, you dummy. You're the one that brought it up.
I'm just saying, if a shrink and a feminist theorist went to a bar together, they'd discuss this for 4 hours over a beer.
Wow, congratulations on recognizing the horseshoe theory. And no, there's nothing deeply weird behind it. It's just your subjective philosophical point of view. There are women out there who like big men and like to be dominated by big men. I think men in general are bigger than women, and some women find that attractive. There's nothing wrong with this as long as the participants are adults, and in this case, not only the participants are adults, they are fictional adults too. Read something else and let people enjoy it. Alright, that's enough internet degeneracy for now. Before we get into more degeneracy, this video is brought to you by all these wonderful people. You guys are fantastic. If you want to see your names among these legends, then check out the links down below. Just $1 and you have supported this channel immensely. Seriously, thank you so much. And now, let's get to the next type of internet degeneracy. Tolerating crimes. A victimless crime can be a subjective matter, but sometimes the subjectivity is just plain wrong.
Imagine jailing people for a victimless crime.
The crime being the auto theft of 3 cars. Yeah, there are victims to this crime. The victims being the owners of the car. But I guess to this person, there's no such thing as private property. Maybe this person should be giving their properties to everyone first, before cheering on other people's misfortunes. Never change, commies.
I'd say maybe I don't want to socialize with a pinko liberal Democrat commie.
Speaking of theft, our next hoopla is a different kind of thievery. The kind of thievery that is unfortunately necessary because big corporations love to screw us first. This time, the companies are losing. A couple of months ago, there was a story about how corporations want the IP addresses of Redditors that talk about piracy. Sorry, corporations, that's a violation of people's privacy and rights to free speech on the internet. How are you going to prosecute people online anyway? Redditors aren't just Americans last time I checked. This news story just slams that story to the ground once again. Reddit doesn't have to share the IP addresses of piracy commenters as ruled by the court. These corporations always try to make an example out of pirates, and it is refreshing to hear these corporations squirming and seething about the fact that they can't put these people to jail. Sorry to say this, corporations, but pirates do have free speech. Don't blame the pirates for your companies and your business failing. Remember, most of your customers can't pirate. I repeat, most of your customers can't pirate. If you want to know why your business is screwed, maybe take a good look into the mirror. I'm just saying, companies that are too worried about pirates are the ones who are worried that they're gonna fail and crumble into irrelevancy. Customers can't pirate. They can't even recognize which image is AI or not. There's a lot of bait that totally appeals to the Facebook boomers. This is a really funny one. Look at these snowstorms and blizzard conditions in Nova Scotia, Canada. Man, that snowstorm is horrible. If only that snowstorm was, oh, I don't know, real. Yeah, this snowstorm over here is AI generated. But that won't stop the other Facebook boomers from saying, oh no, that's horrible. I mean, boomers not knowing which image is what is to be expected. I don't really blame them for not being able to tell the current year technology, but that's assuming that they are real boomers and not, say, AI, like this tweet over here. Check out this carefully carved poem. Sorry, I cannot generate the requested content as it violates OpenAI's use case policy. Truly moved me to tears. She really does have a way with words. No, she doesn't. But a lot of users at the bottom have their hearts moved. I swear to God, I fear the Skynet takeover is happening. Except instead of being in real life, it's on the freaking net. Is this where our internet future is heading, filled with bots and dead accounts? I don't know, but one thing I do know for sure is that this future is made out of expensive technologies, and those technologies make people really stupid. The Apple Vision Pro is a baffling device. It costs $3,500 for what is essentially an augmented reality device that lets you do stuff in the goggles. Yes, you can see through the Vision Pro, but there's still no excuse for you to using it while driving the freaking car, which is what this dumbass did. Think different, he said. You know who else thinks different? The guy who crashed the car and caused it to flip around a hill? You thought using the Vision Pro while driving was bad? Try using it while flying. Yes, some dumbasses use it while flying as well. Again, don't do this, and don't buy the Apple Vision Pro. You can't even use it to watch adult VR content because there aren't any third-party apps to play the VR videos yet. I can't believe that a $3,500 VR headset is worse for adult content compared to a phone and a cheap VR plastic housing. Why are people paying money for this again? Is this the future that Apple envisions? The future does sound really stupid, but regardless of our future, there is always one constant variable that will always be true. People are obsessed with a woman's age. Well, this is quite a dumb take.
Why would a rich, famous guy marry a 34-year-old woman?
Because the woman is Taylor freaking Swift? She had a really good year as of late.
If you start immediately, you might be able to have 2 kids.
Dude, women can also have kids around 30. Riskier doesn't mean impossible.
And she's publicly had sex with a ton of guys.
I think you meant she had relationships with a ton of guys. If she publicly had sex, then those AI-generated photos of her would be real.
Despite her wealth, she's very low quality for any successful male.
Do you measure success by fertility?
Just seems weird and almost like he's a gay guy.
What? Huh?
Why would a successful man want a middle-aged woman who's always on tour? Could it be because he's gay?
No, they just have a different taste in women. That doesn't make you gay. Saying that and believing it actually makes you gay. Just saying. And that's all for the video today. If you like this video, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe for more. Don't forget to check out my AVB Show channel, link down below. Go subscribe. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.